Hello, my name is Courtney Driver. I'm founder of realnews.co, also the up-and-coming iamsocial.co, which will be launching January 1st, 2014, and also operator and owner of my own web design company, pulsedesigns.ca. I'd like to take just some time to say thank you for watching and supporting this movement and mission that I'm on, and I hope that you join me. It has not been easy to get to this point, and it will continue not being easy in the future. But knowing that I have and that we can do this together makes it much less stressful, and being able to help and be, helping people realize the different pitfalls that I went through, there's no words for it. So the only thing that I wish to accomplish with this movie is to help and to share some of the knowledge and ideas and experiences that I've gone through in order to prevent any other person from going through it, and at the same time to hopefully, and I've already learned many different things just researching for this film. And just as a side note, this is not knock you over the head trying to convert you to be a Christian, and likewise this isn't taking Christianity and trying to make you atheist. I have my own viewpoints, and having researched them, confirmed and even enlightened much more onto the subject than I could ever have dreamed of. And basically, just the only way that I can accurately describe the gist of how I feel about religion and us as individuals is exactly this, is that what I believe in is energy. I think that each one of us are receptors to receiving either positive energy or negative energy, but this is where it lies, and we are receptors. Okay, so think of yourself as a radio, and religion, whether it be Christianity, Buddhism, being atheist, whichever religion that you're subscribing to is like a station, a radio station on the radio. So you're changing your frequency until you find one that feels right and meshes with what you believe and how you'd like to live your life. And we have energy. We have energy going in and through around our body. And when we die, similarly to the radio, because there's a wonderful quote that I found. It's basically saying to the regard that we are not human beings on a spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings in a human journey, which I think represents the emotion that I am trying to convey with this movie. And so like I was saying, for instance, when we will or do pass over, this is the equivalent of our radio being broken. It no longer works. However, our soul, our existence is projecting globally. So whether one radio doesn't transmit this signal anymore, there is millions and millions of others that do. And this is the way that our soul and our existence lives on. We're infinite. So not to scare anybody off who thinks that I'm going to be, putting so much religion down the throat, so to speak. No, the gist of the movie, what I feel is at the bottom and the root of everything is that the Bible is like a handbook, and it was written by men but transcribed by gods, and the language of gods is music, and the other language of God is binary code, zeros, ones, and you may ask yourself or wonder why I feel that I'm qualified to put this movie together, and I'll answer you very quickly by saying that this is what my job is. I'm also, as much as I'm a web designer, I'm also a web programmer. And, you know, just to give you a quick example, when you look on the internet and when you're looking at a website, you see the pictures and the images and everything like this. But as a programmer, you know that behind those images is just sequences of letters represented by numbers and so on. And so, not to give too much of the film away, but this is part of it. And the other issue, thing that I would like to address to the reason for putting this movie together is because this is a marker for me, just because I've personally had to go through many different things in my life, as I am assuming, and I know that each and every individual in this world and in this life, we all have our stories of what makes us us and what have you. And the only thing that I wish to do is to share some of the experiences and knowledge that I've had to live through, so that nobody else has to go through that same experience, or to try to prevent as many people as I can from experiencing or doing different things out of lack of knowledge. And one of the major things that hit me in order to start this journey is what happened to me personally about 3 years ago. I, like many of you, I believe, and who are still living this way, is kind of a naive bubble that everybody's out to do good, and that you have lots of different backup plans if anything happens that you can rely on. For instance, if something bad happens to you from a stranger, that you can go to the police. If something bad happens to you, that you can go to the hospital and they'll treat you and everything will be fine. And if something happens to your animal, that you can trust the veterinarians and the people who are dealing with animals. And that if you are a child, an adult, or a parent sending your child to school, or being in school, or anything that has to do with school, that you're going to be taught and fed the correct information. And this goes on. And in the past, or if you have an issue, that if you go to the legal system, that they will be there and do the right thing and justice will be served. And I had pretty much a slap in the face with reality 3 years ago, that this isn't the case. And it started off at the time it was my dog Windy, and she died unnecessarily from kidney failure. And I learned later that one of the things that could probably prevent this in animals is the food. And I was feeding her just food that I got from Walmart, and thinking that if there's anything with food, that they're going to label it, that they're going to tell you that it's not okay and what have you. And that's not the case. Is that there is no standard. And a lot of the dog food that they have, or cat food or what have you, is filled with sawdust and lots of different other nasty things that you wouldn't even imagine that are in your animal's food. And they don't care, because they're there to make a profit, And so this was one of the things that shattered my reality, or my naivety about the situation. And then moving along, it was at a time my parents were in the middle of getting a divorce, which was not pretty. And Yeah, so this plus the effect that try to work hard and do your best, and when you're starting off in any type of industry, mine is web design, is that you feel a need to prove something to somebody, like that you have to, which is fine. But I, being somebody who is on the perfectionist side, went overboard and worked myself into a bit of a stress, anxiety situation to, I guess, compensate for the other aspects of my life that weren't going well. And the straw that broke the camel's back in my case was one time I was watching this episode on Dateline, which was this guru, and he was taking people into these resorts, and you know, it was all to test your mental ability, and to see if you were able to handle mentally and everything like this. And what happened in the episode was there was people, they were in this tent type situation, and they were being steamed inside, like they had to sit in a circle, and it was to see how long you could last inside the tent. Anyways, the story ended, and he actually killed these people because he was pushing them so hard to stay in the tent and to show the intensity or whatever. And I don't know if he did it on purpose or whatever, what the thought process, or he was just off the reservation. But basically, this really shook me, and it caused me to have what I can only describe now as a very huge anxiety / panic attack journey that I was on for a good year. And after seeing that episode, it made me literally vomit, and I vomited so intensely that I kind of burnt all my throat inside, to the point where for another year I wasn't pretty much able to when I would smoke. I used to be a heavy smoker. When I used to try to smoke, my throat would literally close up, and so I had no choice. I quit smoking. I also for a good 2 years wasn't able to handle coffee, which I didn't continue pretty much afterwards, because I was having issues. If I would drink the coffee, I would get like heart palpitations, and so there was that. And also I was having severe stomach issues. At first I thought it was some sort of ulcer or whatever, and so I had to cut all of anything that was fizzy or whatever, Coke, like ginger ale, anything that was fizzy, cut coffee, and cut smoking. And at the same time, I used to love McDonald's. I couldn't eat McDonald's anymore, and I couldn't eat anything else that was like junk food. And not being able to, because for so many years I would just think that people who would spend that much money to, because it's not easy and it's not cheap to eat organic, and I would think that people who were doing this were too fancy or whatever. And the different things that I learned is that the body is not a trash can, okay? It's your own personal temple. And it took me a long time to realize this. And this is due to many different other personal factors that happened to me while I was younger and everything like this. But basically is that you need to take care of your body. And there's lots of different reasons I feel, and I know personally why I wasn't taking care of me, Courtney Driver, is because I didn't think that I was either worthy enough, that I didn't deserve it enough, or that, you know, it was kind of just cool or whatever, just to not care. And it's not cool, and it's you know, it caused a lot of different things that didn't need to be caused. So the only thing that I would like to convey from all of these different experiences that I went through is, first of all, do not think that you can rely and put your faith in other people, other institutions, or other entities besides yourself. Okay, whether it be the police, whether it be the court system, whether it be the school system, whether it be your local grocery store, what have you. The vet is that the main factor in all of those is that they are all controlled by interests that have no interest in justice and no interest in you as a person, as an individual. What they're interested in is making their system move profitably, fast, and, you know, without as much or as less complication as possible. So I hope that from this movie, at the very least, you take 2 seconds and, you know, just, you don't have to go and start making signs and picketing and doing this different things, but just take 2 seconds and maybe look up a couple of different words that you may hear throughout the film, or just take a couple of extra seconds to, you know, instead of I don't know, making or buying a Happy Meal at McDonald's to make you happy, is that you do something for you. I don't know if that's something, you know, for me, I found lots of different things that make me happy to do that I lost track of, you know. And for instance, one of them is making videos, you know. So it took me this very, very rough incident to come to the point where I could turn it into a positive. So I would just like to say that you also have this possibility, and you may already be living an awesome life, and that's very cool. And, you know, this is the ultimate goal, is for us to be self-sufficient, to be independently thinking and operating, and being in line with our higher self. And that higher self could be who or whatever you want to put onto it, but something that is larger than us. And you know, if anything does happen in the future, I'm also trying to build and secure a network of people, so that we are informed, prepared, and ready to take action in whatever sense or meaning that will become. So I would just like to say thank you again for taking part in this. It's I'm very grateful, and thank you. I appreciate it very much. So yeah, hope you enjoy the movie.